Hello, my dear friends. Today we will start a new topic, that is charge. Now I have to charge you because in lockdown period you are uncharged. Now I will charge you. This is just a joke. Now we will go to topic. Our new topic is electrostatics. Total electrostatics chapter is divided into three parts: 1, 2, and 3. First we will go through chapter 1. Electro means it is derived from the word electron. You know about what is electron. That is the nucleus, that is neutron and proton, and outside the nucleus electron is orbiting around the nucleus, and this electron is responsible for charge. You already know in your junior class, when a neutral body donate electrons, that means it acquires positive charge. When it accepts electrons, then you will say it is negative charge. So a body is charged or not charged depends upon the electron. So electron is the key factor of charge. That's why for electron we are telling about charge. Statics means rest. So our topic is charge at rest. Charge at rest. Then we will go to the definition of charge. First we will say what is charge. It's a symbol. Here I have written small q or capital Q. You may write small q or you can write capital Q. Then first we will go to its definition. Before going to this definition, tell me the definition of mass. What is mass? Here is pen is for you. Now I will ask what is the mass of the pen. So you can say it is approximately 10 gram. Okay. It is just the magnitude of a mass. Now I will tell you what is mass. What clear understand what represent mass. Then you see the example. Now pen is above the ground. When it free, then it becomes falls down. Why it falls down? So you will give me answer. Sir, gravitational force attraction due to earth pulls the pen. That's why pen comes to ground. Okay, very good. Now our question is, what property behind this pen that pen falls down or it is attracted by the earth? Answer is pen has mass. So you are getting the answer. Mass is the fundamental property of the matter for which gravitational pull due to earth exists. Similarly, if a charged body is here, left positive charge is rest here. Now another positive charge is also rest here. Then you will see this positive charge will repel your positive charge. Similarly, if you will keep a negative charge here, then this negative charge will attract your positive charge. That means when a positive charge is kept near the positive charge or near the negative charge, either it may be repelled or it may be attracted. This is a new type of force called as electrostatic force. As like a gravitational force, this force is known as electrostatic force. In case of mass, gravitational force exists. Here you can say that in case of charge, electrostatic force of attraction or repulsion exists. In further class, when we will study further in current electricity, when a charged particle moves, then magnetic field also exists. So, charge is responsible for the creation of electric field and magnetic field. Or combinedly, we can say that charge is the source of electromagnetic field. It can be source of electric field, it can be also source of the magnetic field. When it is rest, only electric field exists. When it is in motion, then magnetic field also exists. But in case of mass, gravitational field is exist. Here the nature of the gravitational force is attractive, but the nature of the electrostatic force may be attractive or may be repulsive. It is attractive for opposite variety of charge and it may be repulsive for same variety of charge. So this is the definition of charge. Charge is the fundamental property of a matter for which electromagnetic field exists. Now we will discuss what are the types of the charge. There are two types of charge, positive charge and negative charge. And it is just a name of two charges. Does not mean that this charge is more and this charge is less. Don't apply mathematics here. I will say example. Plus 5 is greater or minus 5 is greater. So you will hands up and you will all say that sir plus 5 is greater. Okay, you are right. If I will ask question plus 5 kilometer is greater or minus 5 kilometer is greater. So you all say that sir both are same. Why both are same here? Now here you know that plus 5 kilometer means towards right and minus 5 kilometer means towards left. But the amount is same. That's why you are saying plus 5 kilometer is same as minus 5 kilometer. So my simple logic is that in every case plus is greater, minus is smaller. That is only mathematical sense. But in here in the physical sense, charge positive and charge negative also like that. For example, charge of proton you are always write plus E. Charge of electron you are always write minus E. And the standard value of E is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Here also you will say that magnitude of charge of a proton is the same as magnitude of charge of electron. You never say the charge of proton is greater than charge of electron. That is a wrong statement. Charge of proton is the same as charge of electron. Because here plus and minus has a physical significance. Plus means neutral atom donate electrons. That means shortage of electron but deficiency of electron. That's why it is positive charge. And negative charge means that is excess of electron. Excess of electron means electron has accepted by the neutral atom. That is negative charge. So positive charge, negative charge, only the name of charge. So you cannot say that the positive charge is more and the negative charge is less. This is very important. Positive charge or negative charge gives only the nature of the charge. Now we will discuss the derived quantity. Now we are discussing what are the types of charge, positive charge and negative charge. Clear? Positive charge means a neutral atom when donate electrons, it has some deficiency of electron. That means shortage of electron. So it acquires positive charge. When a neutral atom accepts some electron, that means it has excess number of electron than proton. Then it is said to be negative charge. And atom is electrical neutral. Why? Because it is the same number of proton and the same number of neutron. If it 10 proton and 10 electron, so charge are cancelled out, so atom is electrically neutral. Now we will discuss charge is derived quantity or fundamental quantity. In class 11 you know what is derived and what is fundamental. In SI system there is 7 fundamental and 2 supplementary quantity. In that you have remembered current is your fundamental quantity. Now there is a formula Q is equal to IT, that means I is equal to Q by T. So charge is derived from current and time. So charge is taken as derived quantity in SI system. And its dimension is represented as for current I, that is ampere A, and for time T, that is capital T here. As there is no mass and no length, so we can write its dimensional formula as m to the power 0, L to the power 0, T to the power 1, A to the power 1. Now we will discuss the unit. First to remember its SI unit is coulomb. According to scientist name, its SI unit is represented as coulomb, capital C. And there are two sub units. One is submultiple unit and another is multiple unit. ESU and EMU. ESU stands for electrostatic unit. EMU stands for electromagnetic unit. As we are studying electrostatics, so you use this unit ESU. What is the name of electrostatic unit? Now electrostatic name is start coulomb and electromagnetic unit is named as ab coulomb. And there is the relation in between as coulomb, start coulomb and ab coulomb. 1 coulomb is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 9 start coulomb is also equal to 10 to the power minus 1 ab coulomb. If you will arrange in ascending or descending order, the ascending descending order, it is written as half coulomb is greater then 1 coulomb then 1 start coulomb. That means half coulomb is greater than 1 coulomb and start coulomb is less than 1 coulomb. That's why it is written as ESU is the submultiple of coulomb. That means ESU unit is less than coulomb. EMU is a multiple unit of coulomb. That means that is greater than coulomb. Half coulomb is greater unit and start coulomb is smaller unit here in between half coulomb, coulomb and start coulomb. So you remember this formula and relation 1 coulomb is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 9 start coulomb is equal to 10 to the power minus 1 half coulomb. Now we have to discuss the other practical unit of charge. What are the other practical unit you can use? One other is ampere and hour. 1 ampere hour, that is 3600 coulomb. Ampere means coulomb per second. Hour means 3600 second. So it is 1 ampere hour is 3600 coulomb, 3600 coulomb. There is another unit, another scientist named Faraday. 1 Faraday, you should remember, 96,500 coulomb. And another unit is also associated with a scientist named Franklin. FR in shortcut we can write, that is 1 start coulomb. And these two units are the largest and smallest practical unit of charge. Largest unit of charge, if the question come, so you will write 1 Faraday and its value is 96,500 coulomb. And the smallest unit of charge is Franklin. Now we have to discuss another question. What is the charge of the fundamental particle? Fundamental particle means electron, proton and a neutron. Neutron has no charge, you know that. So charge of fundamental particle means charge of either proton or electron. And its magnitude is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, or it is represented as small e. Now another question comes, what is the smallest unit of charge? Question comes, what is the smallest amount of charge? Exist freely. Another question is smallest amount of charge not exist freely. If question comes, what is the smallest unit of charge? Not mentioned exist freely or not exist freely. So you write the smallest amount of charge is charge of proton or charge of electron, that is E. Then question, what exist freely, what not exist freely? Now you see, when we are discuss about the atom, the subatomic particles are electron, proton and a neutron. And electron, proton and neutron are also consists of number of small particles that are called as quarks. What they are? Quarks. Different types of quarks are there. I have written a down quark and up quark. Here given an example. Proton consists of 2 up quarks and 1 down quarks. Neutron consists of 1 up quark, 2 down quark. So here you see charge of quark particles. Down quark charge is minus E by 3. Up quark charge is 2 E by 3. Plus minus give the nature of the charge. Here out of these quarks, which one is the smallest charge? E by 3. That means down quark. So here you are see the charge is E. Another charge is E by 3. Another charge is 2 E by 3. So smallest unit of charge is E by 3. But question is that single quark does not exist freely, because we cannot split proton, we cannot break a proton into different parts. They are always in a combined stage. That means quarks does not exist freely. That's why here 2 points written here. Smallest amount of charge exist freely means charge of proton or charge of electron. But smallest amount of can be possible but not exist freely. Then you will say that the smallest unit of charge is E by 3. But in a question, if it is mentioned what is the smallest unit of charge, not mentioned exist freely or not exist freely, you only write this one. The smallest unit of charge is charge of the fundamental particle, that is E. Now we will discuss what is point charge. As like in your class 11, you know what is point mass. You heard about the point mass. I am giving an example. A bus starts from your institute, go to for a picnic for a long tour. Say about Bhubaneswar to Delhi. Now you compare the distance Bhubaneswar to Delhi and you compare bus size of the bus. Here, with comparison to distance, size of bus is very small. So here you can say that bus is a point object. That means very small. If bus moves to a 2 millimeter distance, can you say that the bus is a point object? So when will say the point object or point mass? Now when the size of any object in your discussion is very much smaller with a comparison to a large distance, then you will say that your object is point mass. Similarly, when a charged body is very much smaller with a comparison to a standard distance, then it will say that it is point charge. Actually, it is an imaginary concept. Point charge and point mass, it is a concept for mathematics only. Only you remember that in as like point mass in your gravitation chapter in class 11 you studied the gravitational force of interaction in between 2 point masses is directly proportional to product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Similarly, in next class you will also study here the electrostatic force of attraction or repulsion in between 2 point charges is directly proportional to product of the charges and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. Inversely proportional means if you will increase the distance in terms of square, the electrostatic force decreases. That means point charge or point mass obeys this inverse square law. Why it is named as inverse square law? 1 by r square. That means r to the power minus 2. Minus means inverse, 2 means square. The point object and point charge always obeys inverse square law. For example, in a problem you are given a spherical body of charge positive. But in your pen and paper you just represent a point and it is taken as positive charge. That means this charged spherical body is taken as a point charge. This is a vital concept. In electrostatics, you always discuss the point charge. This is the basic fundamental of charge that we have discussed. What is the definition of charge? Charge is a physical quantity which is responsible for an electromagnetic field. There are two types of charge, positive and negative, which is just formulated by a Franklin. Positive means deficiency of electron or shortage of electron. Negative charge means excess of electron. In SI system, charge is taken as a derived quantity and its SI unit is coulomb and some other two units are there, start coulomb and ab coulomb. Out of 3 units, ab coulomb is greater unit and start coulomb is smaller unit. In other practical unit, the largest unit of charge is Faraday and the smallest unit of charge is Franklin, and the charge of the fundamental particle is 1.6 into 10 to the minus 19 coulomb. Smallest amount of charge is that is also small e, that is charge of proton or charge of electron, and another small amount of charge exists, that is charge of quark, that is E by 3, but not exist freely. And the concept of point charge is that the size of the charged body is very much smaller with comparison to a standard large distance. Now we will discuss what are the characteristics of charge. One by one we will discuss what is the characteristics of charge. First one is when we will keep two positive charges, then it will repel each other, or we will keep two negative charge, it will also repel each other. If a positive charge and a negative charge is kept here, then you will attract each other. So you may tell that like charges repel, unlike charge means different charge attract. But that is a vital point discussion we have to do. What is? Now this statement is only valid if it is a point charge that we have discussed. So you can say two like point charges always repel. If you will write this word point charges, then you will say that like charges always repel, otherwise not. Because in a later class I also discuss with you two positive charges there. Instead of they will repel, we feel that they will repel each other, but sometimes they attract each other. Why they attract, we will discuss in later. But here you have to remember, in exam question may like that, state correct the sentence. If sentence says like charges always repel, that is wrong. Because like charges can also attract. Why attract, we will discuss in later. But like point charges always repel. Similarly to unlike point charges always attract. So this attraction and repulsion phenomenon valid. That means it is true for point charge only. So our first property is like point charges always repel, unlike point charges always attract each other. Now our second property, that is additive in nature. As charge is a scalar quantity, it is simply added or subtracted by algebraic law of addition. For example, 5 coulomb plus 3 coulomb, always 8 coulomb. 3 coulomb plus of minus 2 coulomb, always 1 coulomb. That means charge is additive in nature. That means it obeys algebraic law of addition. That addition that we have studied in our school level. That it does not obey the vector law of addition. As it is a scalar, it obeys the simple law of addition. That way it is taken as additive in nature. Now conservation of principle. Conservation principle that you know in class 11, energy is conserved. That means total energy is always constant. Here you see that. This is in a nuclear reaction. A photon, it is splitted into electron and a positron. Photon has a charge, how much? 0. Electron has a charge, minus E. Positron has a charge, plus E. If we will combine, charge is 0. So before reaction charge 0 and after reaction charge is 0. This is an example of a pair production. Electron and positron are taken as a pair. Photon splitted into electron and positron. This is known as pair production. Similarly, pair annihilation. Positron and negative electron, when they are fused, they will give a photon or light. As like in a positive wire and a negative wire contact, a fire comes. That likes, this is annihilation and this is known as production. Pair means two. Pair of production and pair of annihilation is example of conservation. If in your question comes, give an example of conservation of charge, you can give this example. Another simple example is that sodium chloride. Charge is 0. If it is dissociate sodium plus and chlorine minus, sodium has plus charge, chlorine has minus charge, but total system charge is 0. That means charge is conserved, neither created nor destroyed, just only transfer. Sodium donates some 1 electron and chlorine accept 1 electron. That's why chlorine becomes a negative charge and sodium becomes positive charge. Now there is important property, charge is quantized. In your chemistry, atomic structure, you know that term what is quantized. I just remember you. Angular momentum of the orbital electron is quantized. That means it is integral multiple of n into h by 2 pi. And n is a pure number. Just I am remembering. That is in chemistry, Bohr's model, you know that angular momentum is quantized. Quantized means everything, anything which is expressed in terms of an integer multiple of something. So we can say that it is quantized. Here you see what happens. This is a neutral body here. Listen very carefully. This body, neutral body, it donates 10 electron. Donate means positive charge. 10 electron means charge is 10e. If it accept 5 electron, charge will be, accept means negative, minus 5e. So here the charge body is expressed as 10 multiple of e. Here charge body is expressed as 5 multiple of e. 5 and 10 are integers. Positive sign for donation of electron, minus sign for acceptance electron. Similarly, here written formula, charge is quantized. That means charge of any body can be expressed as an integral multiple. N is integral, integer, integral multiple of charge of the fundamental particle. Fundamental particle means electron. Either electron donated or electron accepted. N is a pure number. It may be 1 or it may be 2, it may be 3. It can never be 1.2. It can never be 2.5. For example, a neutral body is here. I will say that it donate 2.5 electron. Is it possible? Never. You cannot donate 2.5 number of electron. It cannot accept the 2.5 number electron. If it desires, it can accept a pure number of electron, or it can accept a pure number, donate a pure number of electron. So we can say that charge of any body can be expressed as an integral multiple. N is always a pure number, not fraction, not decimal. A very important formula. It helps in your problem also. Charge is quantized. Sometimes question comes, state the quantization principle of charge. You explain this answer by a language or by formula. Formula you can simply write Q is equal to plus minus Ne. Charge of a body can be expressed as an integral multiple of charge of the fundamental particle. Plus sign is for donation of electron, minus sign is for acceptance of electron. Or mathematically you can write Q is equal to plus minus Ne. This is the principle, charge is quantized. Now we have to discuss the another principles. It is relativistically invariant. Invariant means does not change. Relativistically means when a body moves with the equivalent speed of light, then in physics it is taken as relativistic speed. For example, here pen. I have a pen with you, and this pen has mass 20 gram. After taking your class, if you will go to my home with this pen, mass of the pen does not change. Let the mass of pen is 10 gram. My home is also mass of is 10 gram. If I will take this pen with sitting in a motorcycle, then also mass of the pen does not change. If I will go by bus, then the mass of pen does not change. If I will go by train or flight or in rocket, no change in mass. Mass is always constant. But if this mass moves with very high speed, that is equivalent to speed of light, then mass will change. This is known as rest mass, and this is known as relativistic mass. Relativistic mass means when a body moves with relativistic speed, then known as relativistic mass. In case of this pen, if it is rest 10 gram, then in the relativistic mass, that is something greater than 10 gram, say 10.2 gram. Here what you observe, the mass of the pen does not change when it moves with the relativistic speed. Mass of the pen changes when it moves with the relativistic speed. But in case of charge, if this pen has charge 2 coulomb, if it moves with the relative speed, that means speed equivalent to light, then its charge does not change. That's why this property is written, very important property, charge is relativistically invariant. Simply you will say that when a charged body moves with the relativistic speed, that means speed equivalent to light, then the charge of the body does not change. Does not change means invariant. Simply you remember charge is relativistically invariant. But in case of mass, that is different. Charge is relativistically variant. This is the difference between charge and mass. While a body moves with high speed, its charge does not change, but its mass changes. That's why mass is relativistically variant, charge is relativistically invariant. This is the important property of the charge. Now some other properties also there. Charge of a conducting body. Conducting body means in which charge can flow easily. It's like iron, copper. Charge of a conducting body always resides on its surface. If it is a pen made by a copper, Then when it is charged, its charge always resides on its surface. Why it resides on surface, we will discuss in later class. There is a last property and a very important property, always keep in mind. Totally this property is your total 12th class topic. Remember very carefully. When charge at rest, that we are discussing electrostatics. Charge at rest means mathematical will say that V is equal to 0. In that case, you will find only electric field. When charge in motion, there are two varieties, charge in motion and charge in motion. One is V is not equal to 0 means charge in motion. V is not equal to 0 in motion. But there are two types of motion. V is equal to constant means uniform velocity. V is not equal to constant means variable velocity. That means accelerated. If a charged body moves with uniform velocity, what happens? If a charge moves with accelerated, that means velocity changes, then what happens? You remember, when charge was at rest, only electric field. When charge one is in uniform velocity, that means current is there. Current exists. Electric current exists. Then electric field plus magnetic field exists. When charge is accelerated, this electric field and magnetic field starts to fluctuate. As like fluctuate of water in pond, that is water wave. Similarly, you will find another new topic, electromagnetic wave. These all topics will be discussed in total 12th class. Electric field and magnetic field and electromagnetic wave. I am repeating, when you will get only electric field, when charge is at rest. When you will get electric field plus magnetic field, when charge particle moves with uniform velocity. That means constant velocity. When you will get electromagnetic wave, or you can say that Vidyut Chumbakya Taranga, electromagnetic wave. Now when the charge particle is accelerated. Now you will recall all the properties of characteristics of charge. Important property, you just remember. First one is, like point charges always repel. Unlike point charge means different charges in nature always attract. Always word will be attached if you will write point charge. Otherwise you cannot write always. Charge is additive nature because it is a scalar quantity. Charge is always conserved. There is no question, no example in which charge is not conserved. In sometimes question comes, in this example charge is conserved or not? Undoubtedly you write there, charge is always conserved. Yes, charge is conserved. Then charge is quantized. This is a very important property. That means charge of any body can be expressed as an integral multiple of charge of the fundamental particle. That means it can either donate or accept. Positive means donate, negative means accept. Integer number of electron, not a fraction of electron. And charge is relativistically invariant. That means when a charge body moves with the equivalent to speed of light, its magnitude does not change. And charge of a conducting body always rise at its surface. When charge is rest, it creates only electric field. When charge moves with a constant velocity, it creates electric field and magnetic field. When charge is accelerated, it creates electromagnetic wave. Now we have to discuss some questions regarding this. First thing, charge and mass. In 11th class, you studied about mass. Now this new quantity, that is charge. Both are the inherent property of the matter. First, you can say simple language, it is the source of electromagnetic field and it is the source of gravitational field. And its SI unit is kilogram and its SI unit is coulomb. And in SI system, it is taken as derived quantity, but mass is taken as fundamental quantity. There are two types of charge, positive and negative. Here is only one type, that is positive. Again, I remember positive and negative, just naming of the two charge. Don't say positive charge is more and a negative charge is less. This is very important. Some students always say positive charge is more and a negative charge is same. Because mathematics concept is always in our mind. Positive means more, negative means less. But here, positive is one variety of charge, negative is another variety of charge. This is important topic we have already discussed. Charge is relativistically invariant. That means does not change while it is in motion. It is relativistically variant. That means it changes when it moves with high speed. Another important property is also there. A charged body must have mass. Charged body means what? Electron is the charge. Electron has mass. So a body charge means either some number of electrons it has. That means it must have charge. But a massive body may or may not have charge. Why written this may or may not? Now if neutral massive body, it has no charge. So massive body may charge or may not charge. Now another question for you. Calculate the number of electrons present in 1 coulomb of charge. This is a multiple choice question. 4 choices are there. First, students thinks that number of electrons, that means should be integer. Because you recall the quantization principle of charge. N always an integer. 1 coulomb of charge, how many number of electron is there? That means question is asked, N is question mark. Q is given 1 coulomb. Value of E is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. This is the formula we have taught. Q is equal to plus minus Ne. As it is plus 1 coulomb, so you write plus Ne, plus 1 coulomb. N we have to calculate. Value of E is given here. And the calculated value of N is 6.25 into 10 to the power 18. Just to recall the quantization principle. What is the quantization principle? Now, quantization principle means N should be a integer. So students in horrible mood, what they say 6.25. This may be wrong, so they represent either 6 or 7. But you mark carefully. 6.25 is a fraction, not a number. I agree with you. But 6.25 into 10 to the power 18, it is a pure number or integer. So not necessary to round up 6.25 by 6 or 6.25 by 7. So your correct answer is 6.25 into 10 to the power 18. So you do not puzzle with that, sir. You have told that quantized, this is not a number. Just to think in your cool mind, 6.25 into 10 to the power 18 is simply a number, not a fraction. So this is a standard question, always comes in your exam. How many number of electrons present in 1 coulomb of charge? Your answer should be 6.25 into 10 to the power 18 number of electrons. Next question. Can a body have charge minus 6.4 into 10 to the minus 19 coulomb? Justify. First to see minus or plus. That is no problem for you. Minus means it may accept electrons. When it accept electrons, it is minus. If it is positive, does not worry. That means it donate electron. So this is not a matter. But matter is that this answer N should be integer. If N is integer, then charge is quantized. How can you check charge is quantized? Now you just use the formula here, Q is minus Ne, because Q is minus here. That's why I have written Q is minus Ne. Value of Q is put here and solutions get that N is 4. N is 4 means there is no doubt. 4 is integer, so it is possible. If in this question N is 4.2, then you say that this is impossible. So when you will check this type of a question, you find N. If N is pure integer, then that charge can exist. Yes, it is here in this problem, it is possible. Now another 2 question for you. What happens to the mass of body if it is positive charge or negative charge? First to recall the principle. Positive charge means the neutral body donate electrons. It donate electron. Donate electrons means donate some masses, because electron has some mass. As it donate electron, that means it donate masses, so mass of the body decreases. Positive charge means mass of the body decreases. Why? Now electron is removed from it. Negatively charged means it accepts electrons. Electron is added to it. As electron has mass, so some mass is added. So here mass will be increased. In one question answer is decrease, in another question answer is increase. And you can justify. Now last question. What happens to the size of a soap bubble? That means a soap bubble given to you. If it is positive charge first question and negative charge is second question. Question is asked You are given a soap bubble. If it is positive charge, what happens to its size? If it is negative charge, what happens to its size? If one question gives the answer increases, instantly you will say that another question answer will be decreases. But you see what happens here. Here positive charge is given here. Your basic principle is that like charges always repel. So positive charge will repel each other. So they will pull away from each other. So size will increase. Similarly here, negative charge, point charge repel each other. They also pull each other. Here also size increases. So here in this question, whether it is a positive charge or negative charge, size of the soap bubble increases. If question asks why, the answer is like point charges always repel. As always repel, so we can say that they will pull each other. Always repels means they pull each other. Pull each other means size increases. Okay, thank you.